Hello, I'm Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz. It is September 20, 2018 at 12:19 a.m. I was in a hurry to get that last one in because I needed to do it before midnight, and the timing was on to get out there before the day that, what I understand, we're going to get an emergency broadcast from President Trump in association with FEMA. And again, I'll tell you quickly, don't worry about FEMA. I know what everybody hears about them. I don't worry about them. I really don't. If and I also said something else, and I'll get to that. But they're not after you. You know, there'll be a day when they will be used, and but that'll be a day, I believe, when the church is not here. So let me tell you and slow down a little bit and tell you kind of what you're looking at. The Old Testament's gone. That's mainly it's what the Jews use, the first 5 books, the Torah, and that's still where the Orthodox Jews are today, in the first 5 books. And they are the ones that hinge everything happening in the Torah. So they've not yet converted, but when the church comes, they're provoked to jealousy, and this is God's plan. He knew it'd take something like that. Well, they're not provoked, not until we're gone, and that could happen any moment. We're in the church age right now. We're there. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. We're in the church age. Go back and look at all the things, all the prophecies that's been fulfilled. And that's from the moment that Christ came till he died. When he died, that began. Well, I think the church began when he was born. But when he died, that's that second semicircle around church age. That's him coming on the left and him dying on the right. So we're in that time. He started the church. Jesus started the church, his death. Well, the church, according to scriptures, needs to be taken out of the way before the man of perdition can be revealed. And there's too many verses that tell us that. And but there's another verse. I wish I had opened it up quicker. I didn't. I wanted to tell you about, and I'll put it in the box below, so it's important. It's John chapter 5, verse 24, because it tells you right there, the second you call on Christ, God tells you right then. He said that second you're sealed. And he didn't tell you that, but if you turn around and do this, then I'm going to take your name back out of the book of life. No. That second you are sealed. John 5, verse 24 is, verily I say unto you, he that heareth my word and believeth on him that sent me hath everlasting life. And get this, shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death unto life. That doesn't say, but if you screw up, I'm going to take your name out. We all screw up. We all sin every day. And this tells us right here, look, we know that. But if you cry out and receive the Lord, then you passed from death to life right then. And there's no changing. There's no turning back if you meant it with your heart. Guys, I'm going to tell you who got me thinking really hard on the importance of the red heifer. And I've known it. I've been taking the temple newsletter, I don't know, since 2004 maybe. So for a long time, the Temple Institute. And I know that Cohen is the guy, like I told you, Rabbi Cohen will be the mediator between God and man in that temple in that day. But Richmond is the head of everything else now, today. And he's going out every day and with a large magnifying glass looking for a spot or a blemish on that red heifer that was born. Not found a spot or blemish as of now. And also, this is me speaking and no one else. I didn't read it. I'm just going by what I have read. When the angel of death came through, God had the Jews take a young lamb, slay it, put the blood on the lintel and the doorpost, and then you cook it and you eat it. And even tells the family, if you don't have but two in this family, you share with a neighbor. And then I will pass over you that night. And they did, and he did. So it's important. And I'm going by the other cases where a young lamb had to be used. The young, the first, the best had to be used. Well, the red heifer is not quite that, but it is offered up, and the ashes are used to cleanse the temple. Well, the temple can't be built because there's no one to give the okay. And it is the Antichrist that will give the Jews the okay to build the temple. So when he gives them the okay, that meant first we have to go up. We have to go up in the rapture. And then the tribulation begins immediately. And that's why I say, when I saw this tractor trailer full of caskets up in Sturgis, that was 3 years ago when I went to Sturgis. I went out west, I went through there, and went on out to the West Coast. And I stopped at a big truck stop up on the highway about 6 miles out of Sturgis, and I took 3 pictures of a double tractor trailer with caskets. When I said 10,000, look, these caskets are the size, they'll hold 550-pound people. And that would cover 10,000. I counted the number of them and multiplied them by 5, and I come up with 10,000 that day. And I sent the pictures to my daughter. The other pictures I put on a computer that has crashed, but I still have the hard drive from it, so I still have those pictures. And that's 7 years that we'll spend. And then we will come down with Christ at the end of that 7 years to stop the carnage, and he will destroy those with his breath that are left. He'll rescue his people, the remnant of the Jews. But keep in mind, the house of Israel will be saved. They will be saved. So the 2/3 that are cut off, they may be cut off, they may die at the hands of the false prophet, and because he goes in the temple and demands worship, and they know at that moment, you're not our God. So the temple they're building for him. They just don't know it. But it's got to be purified because they don't know who they're building it for. So when we come down with Christ, then the 1,000 years begin. That's the kingdom, Revelations 20, 1,000 years. And after that is the great white throne judgment. We have already been judged. We judged on our merits and what we have done to bring other people to Christ, to receive crowns. That's the Bema seat. but will not go to the great white throne judgment. Those who are raptured, those who are saved, will not go to another judgment. You will go to only the bema seat, and you will receive according to your works, that how you brought people to Christ, how you treated people, and the things that you did. You'll wear a crown in that day. And I just wanted to tell you that I'm trying not to get to the point of where everyone's afraid and running around with their head cut off. I thought other things would have to take place first, but with the birth of this red heifer, that changed things for me. And let me tell you, another place to go to get a really detailed study on this is go to Andy Wood's YouTube, episode 64. Go there and you'll get a detailed study on it, and you'll get schooled. Believe me, he knows what he's doing. Andy Wood's YouTube, episode 64, and you'll be glad you did. Jody Wolf, Expoz.